Nicely placed stick. Oh, there's our gnarly tree. Look at that. Somebody's been working that and piled up a lot of stuff there. Let's have a look. Right, that's natural, huh? That's just a tree branch stuck up there. Look at that. Well decorated. Certainly a pretty looking tree. Oh, wow, well. Get eaten by mosquitoes here. That is a nice pile. Nothing in it, I hope. Nobody home. Yeah, make it easy for me to get to it. No, it's just a bunch of broken off branches wedged into the tree. Start of a smaller pile. Okay. Okay, here we have trees leaning up against that. Except for the trees aren't from there. And then you have a nice sticks lining the thing. And that's about 20 feet from the other place. Here we are at another stick fest. Just down from the other one about 100 yards. Very pretty. There's a nice hole next to branches that are eaten off. Place in here, look at that nice little hole there to hang out in. And here again is that weird cut. That's a strange cut. And believe it or not, it doesn't belong to a tree here. There's no tree for this to go to. But it's almost cut. That to me is really strange.
So this is actually just a short version of all the things that have gone on there, like the trading with them and them setting up things for me to find. And after I find things of theirs, they change the area and clean it up or just rearrange the area so it doesn't look like they've been there. This picture that you're seeing right now was just a dark shadow standing to the right of the bush, which I don't know if I was getting it on video, but it appears that I was. This might not seem like anything, but it appeared to be something because every time I went to this little pool, it was all muddy, and I would hear noises on the sides of this pool as I was going by in my boat. So there I was faced with all these things that were happening in my woods. I know there's somebody in there. I know I've been trading with them, and they've been trading with me. Like I said, they've given me many presents, and I've given them many. We vocalized to each other lately. Well, not lately, actually. What was happening was I was realizing that they were mimicking birds and other animals in the woods, pretending they were them, but they're not exactly very good at it. But they are convincing. If you're not really thinking about it, you'll think, oh, that was that animal or something like that. But if you really listen, you can tell that they're not actually mimicking it perfectly. Anyway, what they've been doing is I would surprise them. I would go by in my boat, and I would surprise them next to the water, and they would start talking to me, like grunting at me and making all sorts of weird sounds and stuff like that. And I know they're not deer because I know what deer are and how they sound and what they and all the other animals sound like because I've been hanging out in the woods for a long time, most of my life actually, about 30 years anyway of it, intensely doing that. But it would get funny, and every time I'd come by them, I'd startle them, or they would just tell me they were there, and we'd just sit there and talk as I rode by. I never got to see them then, but I'd always know that they were there. And I'd hear them in the woods, and they would always seem to be following me or watching me and doing what I do, which is I like to walk on logs and stuff. And what I found was my son and I actually went out there, and we would go walking on logs. And pretty soon we went back maybe a couple weeks later, and there were all these logs all over the place that had been laid down for us to walk on. It appeared to be like that. And so we did. We walked on them. And it was the end of the year that year. And as we walked out of the woods, and we were just getting off into the water, and we were about 50 feet off into the water, all of a sudden we heard this massive thrashing of a stick or a big branch on a log as we left. And our comments were, wow, what an idiot. We should go in there and tell him to shut up because he'll get all hunters and everybody in that woods, whoever he is, or maybe it was a hunter or something. We had no clue what it was, but we've since learned that what they were doing was they were saying goodbye to us because that was actually the last day that we actually went out there that year. And they tend to do stuff like that. And what they did was just before that, they brought all my presents back and left them, all my rocks that they had taken and all my little marble things and anything else that I had given them, they left me when we left the woods that day. I've never returned anything of theirs, but I'm not sure if they really want it back. But they seem to like to give me back the things that they've taken all during the year. As for vocalizations, I did manage to get one on tape. Actually, I've had a few, but you couldn't really tell. But on this one, you can actually tell that it was them. And so we'll play that one.